that that's how you guys are choosing to respond. Benjamin, what you got, brother?
To piggyback off of what you just said,
Yeah.
I actually felt that way. Like I felt like, man, I let my whole entire team down. Like I got COVID. It's all my fault. But like everybody was so supportive and they were like, nah, it's not your fault. It was it was inevitable. Like it was going to happen. Like, don't worry. Like it's all good. So like everybody brought me up when I was down, which was even 10 times better.
You know, like since we're on that note, like not to skip ahead, but we'll talk about it. Like that's if I could just share an observation, that's kill what needs to be killed also, right? So in their mind, they're saving you, and at the same time, they're killing that toxic self-talk that we've talked about, right? Talked about negative self-talk and biases. These things erode confidence and tear down energy. So you're already in a weakened state, and like you're like, fuck it, it's my fault, and I want to beat myself up, and like quite the opposite, right? They're saving you and killing that negative self-talk for you at the same time. Like that's a special thing. That's a 2-for-1 special. There's a self-licking ice cream cone, man, with some sprinkles and some syrup on top. I mean, seriously, you know, like how do you feel now, right? How do you feel like knowing that you have that level of care, trust, and love for your well-being?
Well, like my mental health definitely isn't bad. Like I feel good about everything that happened and stuff.
Like I'll rest on that. Like mental health and your like y'all's collective mental well-being is at like the forefront of everything that we do here, making sure that you guys are good to go for yourselves and for each other. Again, just acknowledging this like terrible environment, and then you know, unfortunately, here we are. So, I mean, so that vulnerability is an invincibility. There's a test of the statement, right? You know, said it a few weeks ago. Kind of live by it. It's been a mantra of mine for quite a while. When things are the absolute worst, man, that's what I say to myself, and I get in my own head. Like vulnerability is an invincibility. Like I can't be touched if I just let it all go. Um, does that statement still hold true given what you guys have just faced? And Ben especially, like, do you feel, and sick as you may be, do you feel any elements of invincibility from the team perspective?
Was that a question?
Yeah, I think he
Okay,
just,
just checking.
yeah, well, it looks like he put his phone down for a sec.
All good.
That's all
Oh,
good.
I'm so sorry. I had to use the bathroom. What was
Yeah.
the question again?
Appreciate you. Just checking back in, saying vulnerability is invincibility. Given what you've been through, would you say that statement is true, false, carries a little more weight to you in the situation now, maybe?
No, I think that statement's true because like I was vulnerable, I guess, and then I overcame that, and now like I feel I wouldn't say invincible because I'm still sick, but I definitely feel so much stronger knowing like that I can be torn down and vulnerable, but I have a whole entire group of men behind me to lift me up.
Having pack animals ready to go on bite on your behalf when you're down is, in my opinion, it's one of the most addictive feelings I think a person can feel as part of a team or a pack or a tribe. When like you're down and like you're out, and your team all of a sudden is right there in full support. And when you could acknowledge that space and you see it and feel it, you know, from a combat perspective, you know, on week one, I kind of shared that a little bit and what that felt like. And now you're feeling that kind of, that's deep interconnectedness that's showing up for you. Great conversation there, guys. Great conversation.
Yeah, I think sometimes that brotherhood or sense of belonging can really give you an energy to either get through another day, to feel like you've got some mental health like support, some strength, and obviously like on game day, it's going to be another level of energy for surging. We just put up here your playlist, that starter part. You know, that's for you guys to build on or make your own or whatever. But just wanted to touch base on that because it's such an important part. That music is such a big part of creating this culture this year. And we're going to dive into this thing we were going to do last week. And it's going to involve us all going onto Google Sheets. So I'm going to put in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop my share for a second. I'm going to put in the chat the link for this so that everyone can hop in. Let me Give me 1 sec.
Get yourself set there, Alexis.
Thanks.
And so what she's going to drop that link in the chat, guys. Go to the chat, click on the link, and that'll bring up the questions, and that breaks it down by platoon. Got it. There's only 7 platoons minus no second. Love that.
I think we have it in rooms this time, just so you know.
Yeah. So we're going to break out, by your platoons, ideally if technology cooperates. And as a small group, as like a small platoon, discuss what you think your mottos and talk about your leaders and if not retention, because it's a first year program, what legacy do you want to create that people would be attracted to show up to Penn College, to be a Wildcat, to be a better person? And your approaches to daily life and your battle drills. So as a small group, again, this is you building the culture in your words. This is taking your stuff and applying it. So no wrong answers. We only ask that you participate and share with each other. And then we come back to the big group here. We'll go by platoon and just share down the list. And this will be a living, breathing thing for you guys. This will be, this is already positioned in your own private Google Drive for you that we created. So you'll be able to harvest it for more stuff later. Any questions? Alexis, did I cover anything?
I just need to assign Giovanni really quickly to his room. Just making sure. Oh,
okay.
There we go.
The room's already picked out for us.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Hopefully. All right, I'm
Hopefully
going to open the rooms and
ready.
we'll see how it goes. Ready, set, go.
See you guys soon. We'll do this for about 7 or 8 minutes.
Hey, Nathan, do you need me to get you to your room? Let me see.
Who's it? Oh, hey.
How you guys doing?
What's our motto and saying? We're in
Yeah,
group 4, right?
Yeah, so all you're really looking to do is like if you guys have any mottos or sayings or like things that describe your culture, or like even if there's stuff that you've thrown around, like when you guys are doing Habitat for Humanity, like just collective things that like everybody's like an inside joke on the team kind of thing.
Full send, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Somebody go on the Google Docs and do leaders.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the chat, but since we broke it out into that room, like our rooms, I lost the link to it.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Yeah, I'm on my phone doing the Zoom, so I can't switch over. It'll kick me out of the Zoom.
Dude, I'm on my phone too, so stop. You're lying.
No, I'm being serious.
Yes, I have an iPhone 8, bro. You have like the iPhone like 12 or something.
Oh,
Oh, how do you do it? Oh,
You
wait,
guys,
I can't.
as long as one of you guys get in, like you guys can just have
Yeah,
the
Ben,
one
are you
person
in?
put them in.
Yeah, man, I can do it. I just didn't want to do it.
Oh my God.
Wait,
COVID lawyer.
I have COVID. All right, what should we even put for leaders? Like coach?
Yeah.
I mean,
Anything about
Everybody-
the leaders on the team, how would you describe the leaders?
Strong.
Any words you can use.
here we go.
Strong. Did I spell strong? Yeah.
Full send, baby.
Isaac,
Yeah,
type something there. I got strong.
I'm trying to figure out how to type, to be honest.
Do you guys
Yeah,
want to do
same.
something that's terrible?
What
No,
did you
just
hit
click
to?
on it.
Ben? What did you hit to type on your
You just
phone?
click on it and then it starts typing. Wait, but listen to me. You know how like it gives it gives suggestions to words to use?
Yeah.
It says I put strong, and then guess what the next word suggestion is?
What?
It's white. It's not so racist.
Have you got nauseous yet, Ben?
What?
Have you got
Bro.
nauseous yet?
Nah.
Dude, I was throwing.
Paige has been puking her guts out.
Yeah, I was puking when I had it last week, so it's not fun. I still don't.
What's the fourth question? Retention and legacy.
I don't even know, dude.
Well, like we're the first year program. What do we want our legacy to be? Like set a strong legacy, kind of.
You got it. Anything you want to say about it?
What do you guys want our legacy? We just want to be stand-up guys, I guess.
Set a
Wait, what
tone.
happened to
Set a
everything
tone
I-
for legacy. Say like set a tone for the years to come.
What happened to insightful and motivated for Oh wait. Yeah, for the leaders. I wrote like 3 things and it disappeared.
That wasn't me, buddy.
I don't even know how to write on it.
I can write on it for you guys if you want.
I figured it out.
Okay.
You want me to write set a tone?
Yeah.
I forgot the E. What's our morals? I don't know.
Morale, like your team, like
Oh, morale.
Yeah.
Our morale. So I'm dyslexic, so I can't read sometimes.
it's all good. I'm not, and I still have a hard time with it.
Our morale. Honestly, I have such a hard time thinking right now. Morale. I don't know. What do you
And
think?
you don't have to
Victor?
fill out all of them. If you get, you just get where you get on it.
Somebody said practice the way you play. Who
Yeah,
said
that was me.
I like that one.
Cool. I like that too.
Team effort here.
Okay, approach to the daily life, battle drills. What's your approach to daily life? Like, what was one thing he said? Wake up and piss excellence. Should we put that?
Nah, let's make our own.
I know, but that's just so funny.
Dude, you know
Love
what? I used to say all the time, let's open a can of whoop ass.
You want to put that? I mean, he said piss excellence, so I don't think he'll get upset if we say ass.
It's
Oh.
yours. You say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, but Coach Williams would make me run, and I can't breathe right now.
Tell
so
him you have
bad.
COVID.
Or are you guys paused?
I'm on the Google Sheets.
Oh, you guys still are?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
How do you spell whoop?
WHOOP.
W-O-A. Wait, what?
WHOOP.
It keeps saying whip instead, like auto-correcting it.
So annoying. All right, I'm going to leave the room for a minute so I can get everybody set because I'm having technical difficulties today.
That's good.
Sounds good. Thank you.
It's not fair because you actually look like you've been there. Sunshiny face.
Oh, yeah, well, I just flew in.
Tired
It
arm.
was a long-ass flight, but, it's all right.
Halfway there.
Yep.
Hey, hey. How much do we want to bet Eric comes back and said his group is the best? It's usually what happens.
He's so full of shit.
Got a nickel.
All right. Here we go. Awesome.
Yo, room 2 is on fire. I'm just saying.
I knew it.
I'm just saying. And room 2, not platoon 2. So we're good to go.
Right. No platoon 2.
We're in the right place at the right damn time.
All right. We can pull up. I'm gonna share screen for that page. See how it looks.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys seeing
badass
it?
to see it open as it went.
Yeah. Do you want to see it now, or you want me to close it out?
No, it's great. Let's roll through it.
Okay.
All right. Room 1. You just want to share, someone just volunteer, whoever may be, just kind of share what you're thinking, kind of take it on down the line. Take about 30, 45 seconds to share.
Yep. So for our motto or saying, we have, hey, we're getting better because we're always getting better. And then for leaders, we put experienced, encouraging, and always willing to help. And then our legacy, we want to be known for stop shots, fuck thoughts. And then our morale is early is on time. And then I can't read that last one if you want to scroll down just a hair.
Alexis,
sorry.
can you scroll down a little bit?
Yep.
And then positive attitude
That's
and
so
high
nice.
energy is our.
Just asking
My
if
Alexis is
somebody
going off.
can, I'll try my
Alexis,
best to help.
stop.
That's so nice.
You're welcome.
What you'd like me to do.
Sorry.
I'll try my
And then
best
we
to
have
help.
our approach to daily life is positive attitude and high energy.
I
Fired
like
up.
this. It's
Good.
Go ahead.
All right. Good room 1. All right, room 2.
Sorry about that. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Here we go. Room 2. Who is room 2 here? Dylan. Eric, that was your room, right? And Quinn?
Yep.
Are Dylan or Quinn there?
Yeah, I guess I'll take
There,
it.
I unmuted myself. There, sorry, I was having technical difficulties on my end. I can't
It's been a
work
theme
technology
today.
apparently.
We're good,
So,
dude.
our motto was "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard." Leaders, just somebody that leads by example, like always doing the right thing. The retention or like legacy that we want to like leave for the program is like never back down, like an FU mentality. Gritty and driven guys usually are the ones that come here. Just looking at the majors. And so the morale is welcome to the real world. And I thought this one because the majors we have, you're doing things you're going to do every day. And it's kind of like going to work every day here, but you're coming out with a degree and something that makes you're different coming out of this school than kids who are just going right into the workforce. And we didn't get a chance to get to the approach to daily life for like battle drills.
But my idea was wake up on time because that's something everyone in our platoon struggles with. So
It's always good to hear like everyone's perspective on these things. The whole group hearing each other. All right, who's room 3? Angelo, Danny, and Coach was in that one.
Yeah, so we did deeper than the deepest man for the motto because for my high school coach for football said for safeties, be deeper than the deepest man. But it also has like a meaning like work harder, dig deeper than anyone else. So like just because you dig down deep, there's someone digging deeper, so you got to go deeper than him. So just working hard kind of mentality.
Love it.
For the leaders, I did well, like we said, hardworking and dependable, because like you definitely want to be able to depend on them for like basically to like lead, like kind of like taking from group 2, like lead by example and give you like the right path, and then hard, like most definitely.
And then our like legacy is like always wanting more, like never be satisfied. Like, yeah, you won a game, but let's go win two. Or like, yeah, we won the championship last year, but like, let's go win another one. Like, never be satisfied with what you have.
For morale, we did go big or go home because I think that's just a thing just to send it and hopefully get a good result.
And
Hopefully-
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Hopefully get a good result.
Definitely get a good result.
All right. Words matter. Sorry. Go ahead.
My bad.
And then approach to daily life is working hard and never give up. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory there. Just don't give up. Always give it to 100%. So,
I like
yeah.
it. Good.
All right. Just trying to pull it closer. All right, room 4. That was the room I was in.
So
let's share what you got.
For our motto, it's full send, baby. You know, go balls to the wall and, you know, give it everything you got. For our leaders, we want our leaders to be strong, insightful, and motivated, because if the leaders aren't, then they can't really help anybody join the bandwagon with that. Retention and legacy, we want to set a tone and build a foundation and culture, which we've talked about. And for our morale, our morale is practice the way you play, because, you know, if you're not ready for, if you don't practice the way you're going to play, you're not going to be ready to play at your full potential. And then lastly, we kind of piggybacked off you, Eric, when you said, let's piss excellence. But we, you know, as a kid for my football team, I remember I would get into the huddle and I scream, let's open a can of whoop ass. We'd all get rowdy and hit the field ready to bash heads. So
love it. So there's your trigger. There's like your activation. There's that moment and that switch. That's spot on, bro. Real solid there. Real solid.
All right, next up we've got room 5. We got Garrett, Michael, and Steven.
Yeah. For the first one, the quote, we said, pain is temporary, quitting is forever. I actually got this off a grunt style t-shirt. And for, I don't know why it's so zoomed out. 1 second.
Oh, here. Let's see.
There. Oh, my screen was all messed up. We're good. For the leaders, we said level-headedness and being direction oriented. So knowing where your end goal is, but, you know, if something comes awry, keep your tempo and don't get all erratic about it.
Nice.
For retention and legacy, we said we want to be known for speaking softly and carrying a big stick. You know, we don't have to be the loudest, you know, wildest team, but we want to be the toughest. For morale, we said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I kind of took this from Eric, where he said he doesn't believe in fair fights. I'm not saying you have to, you know, put illegal hits or do illegal stuff in the game, but if there's an edge that you can take, don't be scared to take it, you know, grab it and go. And then the last one for our approach to daily life, we said, put your money where your mouth is.
Straight up. Right? That speaks volumes all by itself. No explanation necessary. That was great, guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna hide that column. All right, and then we got room 6 here. That's John, Josh, and Nathan.
All right, so for our motto, we went with hard work makes great things happen. We just want to like build around hard work as like our main focal point. So that's what we came up with. For being leaders, we wanted to be welcoming, because we're all really lighthearted guys and just easy to approach. And we think that would like help set a good culture for, you know, just making lacrosse fun for everybody. And we also want to be hardworking. For the legacy, we want to set a culture of having a team over the individual. We talked about how we all just want to be like assets to the team, and we want to make ourselves better so that we make the team better as a whole. For morale, we wanted to fit in a quote from our platoon song by the Motley Crue. And whenever we hear that first line, when I get high on speed, that kind of is what, like, you know, that's the morale that we have, just like full speed all the time and just like going 100%. And that leads into our approach to daily life, giving 100% of the time. So
That's great. I think you guys have, it's interesting to hear like the this balance between like hard work but still like amped energy, and then leaders that are level headed, and then people who are ready to go, full tilt, full speed, and all of that stuff. It's just a really nice balance to hear. All right, let's see here. Last one, but not least, we've got room 7 with Dylan, Giovanni, and Tom.
Yeah. So for our motto, we said dig in, kind of get your hands dirty, be gritty. For leaders, we said, the guys that can pick you up when you're down, but also more the quieter guys that can lead by example rather than words. For legacy, we said kind of laying a strong foundation for a strong future. And then morale, we said never settle, always improve, which kind of led into our approach to daily life. Kind of looking forward to improving on yourself and always looking to get better.
This is great. And I think that one thing that I'm picking up on from this one, I'm hearing the word grit a lot, hardworking, service to each other, picking each other up when someone's down, and gratitude. Like you all have been talking about how helpful it's been to have one another there for you and have each other's backs. So Eric, is there anything you wanted to say, or Chris, about like what you're seeing here?
No, impressive. We'll keep on rolling with this and intertwine it as we go. But, better than what I would expect from you guys. Just love it. Love hearing it.
All right, here we go. Let's see about my share. Do you guys see the chart again?
We sure do.
Good. All right.
All right. We kind of touched on the 5 rules, with using the COVID example for Ben and what happened there. Anyone else have anything to share with something that resonated since last week, something else that happened? Perhaps one of these rules were relevant for yourself and for the group? You can throw a hand up or just come off mute and share. Give it another few seconds. But either way, looks like Nathan, looks like you're ready to go, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say with kill what needs to be killed. I feel like definitely on Tuesday when we showed up to practice and we were like, we got to cancel practice because we have a positive COVID case. I feel like everybody definitely felt down in that moment. But, as soon as we got back to like our apartments and everything, we started getting the text of, hey guys, that's something we can't control. We just need to move forward. And I feel like we definitely killed that, negative attitude and just like being down on ourselves on the whole situation.
That's brilliant right there. And who knows how much that saved the season, saved the team, saved that like being on the edge on an already difficult situation. So that's super mature, and to put that in context only after a few weeks is super impressive with you guys. All right.
Speaking on this topic, this very topic, mental health has been like a big thing this year. So we wanted to check in on all the things we went over with Cece. It's been now a week since that session happened, and talking about the energy output and how we're feeding our body with, social media, other media, like literally with sleep and nutrition, your daily routines. Some people were thinking about throwing some more like breakfast into stuff, or paying attention to when bedtime is. And then any other recovery techniques that anybody might want to share that they may have done differently. Just checking in to see how you're doing, especially this week. Anybody want to share?
Yeah, I've been kind of using the breathing techniques more. When I get anxious, I could feel it. So I've been starting to use those more and just like seeing it, like feeling it more, So I've been using those and it's been great, doing good.
That's great. That's really helpful to hear. Anybody else doing any of the breathing techniques? Even just the awareness, like may be different than it was before, even if you're not even doing the breath work, but just like being aware of your breathing. Anybody have that happen, especially at practice, right? Like you can really see that happen.
Yeah, I definitely find myself breathing a lot, and like when you were saying like breathe in a deep breath and then exhale fast, and you kind of get that energy.
Yeah, those are like really helpful, right? Like there are two different ways to do it for whatever you need to do, amp up or like chill out. How about you, Graham?
Yeah, I definitely felt that yesterday for our practice. Whenever I would let like a goal in or something, when I was younger, I used to always just get super like mad and down on myself for it. But then I just figured I was like, try breathing and calm myself down and just worry about the next one.
That's great. You know, the faster you can get at that too, it's more efficient in a way. It's better for performance. Quinn, did you have something? I think I might have missed that you were trying to jump in if you were.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like I have trouble sleeping, and like recently I have started doing the breathing like while I'm laying down trying to sleep, and I notice it calms me down and like lets me fall asleep pretty easy.
That's so great. Sleep is everything, right? Like we talked about how important it is to how clear you can be and how you can act to other people and all that stuff. So that's a huge win. Every one of these are big wins. How about you, Garrett?
I've just been keeping track of my daily routines more frequently, not necessarily on paper, but just being more aware of, you know, I've been doing this at the same time every day. Let's keep doing it at the same time. So, you know, you don't mess up a schedule and make bad habits.
Yeah, you can kind of see when, how things affect you too, when you have that much routine and always being adaptive, right? Like adaptable. So when things do change off that routine, like being able to stay with it and not have it ruin your day necessarily. All right.
All right,
Now we
guys.
have shifting gears.
The good stuff. So now we're going to look at another skill, another tool, another offering, and it's active, right? And so we're going to talk about mindfulness as a technique, as if you want a bucket, a mental frame of mind. We're going to talk about mindfulness, but in our fashion, in our brand, we're going to weaponize it, and we're going to take you through a process that is as old as hunter gatherers and as refined as our most elite special operations across all spectrums of military service on an international scale. We call it a warrior's pause. It's very simply put: stop, look, listen, and smell. And when you apply these techniques, when you look at what they can do for you, what they can offer to you when it's applied, it makes all of the information in your environment available to you. So if you're in a room and you're stressed and you have something to do, you can get tunnel vision. When you go through this process, you may see the entire room, the door, the building, the neighborhood, the street. It allows you to receive more and keeps you calm and cool. And the senses that you have, instead of getting refined into cold, clammy skin and tunnel vision and shallow chest breathing, it allows you to feel all of your senses and allows you in a way to process what you're seeing and feeling. And what we're talking about is biohacking your parasympathetic system, which we'll get into more here in a second. And when you train in this process, when you train in this practice, it does take time, like anything. You're learning a new skill. You're learning a new neuro pathway. You have to create it through a process of myelination. And so the more you do it, the more you do it. And myelination is like the first time you walk through a forest and you're beating brush, it's annoying and it's tricky. And you keep on walking that path. Well, that path becomes a well-traveled path and you can move through it a lot more rapidly. The brain is the same thing. And I spend a little extra time on this with you guys because there's a lot of doers and a lot of people that want to not be sitting still. And so, hey, someone may told you had ADD along the way, or you may think you have ADD because you're scatterbrained. Well, you know what? Good. That's a survival skill. And so like me, King ADD back in the day, I learned this process and how to process my environment. And I learned that I could actually have an increased awareness, and it's not something I need to be shied away from, or it's not something I need to medicate myself into. Okay. Where does this fit in the balance of life? Very simply put, black and white. You have on one side of the spectrum, order, simplicity, balance. On the other side, chaos, complexity, crisis. And in somewhere in between on the sliding scale of our individual selves and the environment is our threshold, right? It's our personal threshold. And we're going to revisit a quote from our boy Archilochus from 650 BC. We don't rise to the level of our expectations where we think we want to be. We fall to the level of our training. And so right now we're going to do some training on how we can figure out this mindset to be aware of ourselves, aware of the environment, and then most importantly, how to take decisive action to regain control when we're in these moments, how to process the environment around you. If you look at on the left side, how do they look on the order on the simple side compared to how do they look on the chaos and complex side? The takeaway is one is more open to receive new information and one is not. One is I'm shutting down. I don't want to hear anything else. I'm overcome and I can't take anymore. Now think about if you have to perform in that moment of chaos and you're choosing to shut down, or you've never trained or been in that, and then your body just shuts down. Compared to if you understand the threshold, you understand what's going on in the environment and yourself, and you're able to receive new information, you're able to perform under stress and duress. You're able to perform in this threshold area because you understand yourself and the environment around you. And again, gentlemen, this is not something that we need to throw ourselves into chaos and crisis to learn. These are things that we learn on a micro scale every day when you're going through your battle drills, when you're going through your routines, when you're going into and out of a building, when you're entering a new environment. This is something that we do inherently. Chris and I do inherently, and now Alexis does inherently. Our whole team does inherently because it's what we're trained to do. It's why veterans never want to have their back to the door because we want to have our eyes on the door. It's not a PTSD thing. It's a fucking awareness thing. I want to see my environment. I don't want to be surprised by it. I want to minimize these surprises. And then when the surprise comes, I want to have a process to overcome that. And that's what we're here to train and to go through. And again, our process is this weaponized mindfulness. So let's look a little bit further. What else happens to our body in these moments of stress and chaos? Move to the next one, Alexis.
Oh.
Are you on the graph?
Oh, I guess maybe you didn't see me shifting. What do you see right now?
The scale with the people in the bubbles.
All right. I think it's just slow right now because I've been on the other slide for a couple minutes.
I just kept on talking, waiting for you to flip it. So how about that?
Well, that applies both ways. So let me stop the share for a second and see if I can kind of re-up it.
All right, guys, we're going to keep on rolling for sake of respect of your all Friday night. So we're going to look at, again, it's geographically or visually depict what happens to your body in chaos, right? And it's a graph. And on the left side, you're calm, cool, and collected. So that's your resting heart rate. And on the far side, you're under stress, chaos, and duress. Like, what do you think your body is going through? And so, yeah, there we go. And so we look at the ability to perform under stress and chaos. And in that threshold, again, we're kind of looking at that gold box, right? And the environment and ourselves. And that's what we're going to analyze here. There's a reframe moment in there. When the world around you seems to be collapsing, you have a choice. In most cases, you have a choice to decide, what am I going to do in this situation? Am I going to lose my shit and lose my composure? And that's the way I'm going to react. I'm going to react to the situation. Or am I decisively seeing what's happening and I'm taking control of myself? I'm assessing the environment, not that you can control it, but you could assess it and understand how you and your team need to move through it. And then this is where you overcome that first and most difficult thing to overcome, your physical body, your parasympathetic body telling you, don't move, don't go, or worse. you piss yourself, you poop yourself, or you pass out. And why does that happen? You remember Cece kind of discussed a little bit. I'll just refresh. It's your parasympathetic system. Fight, flight, or freeze, right? Fawn. And in your body, like, you don't need to digest food if you're in an emergency situation. So your body purges these systems. Your body needs oxygen, so it breathes fast and shallow. Your body just wants to move and go. So now we're going to process the environment to regain control of these things. And so we can bring that power curve down and get ourselves into a controlled state so we can make better choices that could make the difference. And in our world, it's life or death. In your world, it's a ground ball that leads to a goal, which leads to a win, which leads to a playoff, which leads to a championship, right? That's where that's exactly where this comes from. So let's keep on moving and look at what else happens in this environment. I'm going to say this, gentlemen, it's okay to feel and to have experienced all of these emotions, characteristics, or feelings before. It is okay. It means you're alive. If you haven't, that's cool too. We'll talk afterwards and we'll talk offline. But most of us probably have felt these before. But now today, we're going to, again, it's a choice. So now we're going to go through some training and teach you these things to move on with yourselves. And now after today, you're going to have to be unwilling to do this in order to be a better person, right? So we're trying to biohack you here so it becomes inherent in your nature. We've all seen or felt this, whether it's approaching the pretty girl, whether it's applying to college, whether it's going to the first tryout, whether it's walking into the locker room for the first time, whether it's whatever the situation is. It's approaching that first thing for the first time, the unknown, the uncertainty. And if we've learned anything for the past year, we know that we can only control really the 3 feet around us with this COVID pandemic and what's happened here. And so again, we know that it's okay to feel these things and experience these things. And we also know we're going to learn how to process over it. And this is an energy management system. This is so you guys can ride the highs and the lows. You understand? It's so you can go 4 quarters into overtime with ease, knowing that you've been conditioned both mentally and physically, spiritually perhaps, that you can endure that long bout of energy exertion. In the 4th quarter, though the teams may be falling out, but you're able to control yourselves. So where does this thing come from? This mystical, weaponized mindfulness approach? Well, it comes from ancient warriors and armies and hunters. I wish we could say we have ownership over it. We don't, but we as humans have ownership over it. And where is it learned? Most importantly, so it has a little bit of street cred. It's trained and taught and indoctrinated across all spectrums of the military. From an army perspective, you see some of the training and doctrinal educations in some of the schools that SILS is constantly embedded and ingrained in everything that we do. And if you look at those schools, Ranger School, Survival, Escape and Evade School, Special Forces Qualification Course, Infantry Officer Basic Course, Special Forces Sniper School, these are very, I would say, forward-leaning, weaponized type of units that are going out and actively engaging with the enemy, close with and destroy the enemy. And that's why I think this is so valuable for you all, because you are not passive folks. You are actively grabbing life by the balls and moving forward. And you need a tool to keep up with that mindset. So instead of stopping you and slowing you down, we want to keep you guys at the RPMs you want to go at and just give you the equipment to move at the pace that you need to do. And SILS is one of those things that's time tested and improved, and we're going to get after it right now. All right, guys. So first, roll with me here, okay? We're going to do a little visualization, take you through something, a new process. And this is speaking to the folks who have the monkey mind, who can't sit still mentally in one space. And what we're going to do is I want you to think of your favorite outdoor location, a place where you're extremely comfortable, calm, cool, and collected. A lake house, a beach house, a vacation home, a favorite vacation, a summer camp, a walk in the woods, some place that you see, know, and you're familiar going to. And we're going to go there, okay? And in the real world, we're going to close our eyes and I'm going to take you through a visual process of being in that space, okay? So a visual depiction of where we are. So without further ado, guys, I want you to stop, close your eyes, and go there. Now, in this moment of stopping, give yourselves 6 seconds of a pause to just settle yourself, take in the environment around you. While your eyes are closed, in your mind's eye, go to that calm place, the lake, the forest, the trail, and be fully present. Let yourself get settled. Move around with your feet, settle your weight, wiggle your fingers, feel where you are. And now, with 2 eyes, look around. Slowly, your head turns left to right and up and down. Calm, cool, and collected. You're scanning your environment, looking for things, scanning the room, scanning the beach or the horizon, whatever you may be looking at. Take it all in with 2 eyes. What do you see or not see? What shadows or silhouettes do you see? What footprints or tire prints or animal tracks do you see in the forest or the beach or the water? What shiny objects do you see? What cars driving by or boats or birds flying? Take it all in. What doesn't look right? What looks out of place? Look and look again. Actively scan and take in your environment. And now, with 2 ears, listen. What do you hear? How many different sounds of nature do you hear? Do you hear an air conditioning unit, an HVAC unit? Do you hear birds chirping? Do you hear an animal? Do you hear people? Babies, children? What language do you hear? Do you hear crying or laughing? Do you hear water running? Do you hear fire cracking? Do you hear cracks of a twig behind you? What do you hear? With 2 ears, fully engaged, hearing everything. Are you lost in the woods and need to find that running water to be found again? Or do you need to move to the sound of a car? Or do you need to move away from the sound of a motor coming at you? Listen to your entire environment. And now, take a big, deep breath through your nose. Slowly inhale and take in all the oxygen and all the air and all the smells that your environment may provide you. Breath is connected to memory and it activates your entire body. It opens up your eyes, it opens up the blood flow, it opens up the oxygen flow. Take another big deep breath. In, 2, 3. Hold it and slowly release. And as you exhale, continue to scan your environment. What smells are you smelling? Do you smell nature? Do you smell wild animals? Do you smell exhaust fumes? Perhaps that saltwater smell of the waves crashing? That gasoline smell of a lake house and outboard motors? Do you smell pollen, flowers? That forest moss of a long hike in the woods? Do you smell body odor? Do you smell food, foreign food, barbecue? Take another breath and fully activate yourself. And now realize you've stopped, you've looked, and you're listening, and you're actively engaged, fully aware of your environment. And so now come back to all of your senses and take another breath, feeling them all come together. And now with each breath, you're feeling and smelling confidence and more control of your environment, that you're available with all of your senses to now take the next step forward, knowing everything's around you. Calm, cool, and collected. And when you guys are ready, open your eyes, take another breath, And look at the words on the screen and let me know if that's where we're at. Do we feel these things after we've filtered our environment visually wherever you were? Do we feel increased concentration? Do we feel more confident of ourselves and the surroundings? Do we feel a type of inner harmony and peace wherever we were? Is this something that can be done on your own? Are you guys able to stop, look, listen, and smell? It doesn't need to go on for minutes, although it's helpful. But would you guys able to put this into your routine as we were to flow? Anyone want to share how they're feeling or where they went and any type of experience that they may have here? And that's okay if not. We're all in a Zen Buddha state. And I'll also say the last place that we do this sill stop is usually right outside the enemy's door. Okay. It's the last known covered concealed spot. It's when we're getting very close. We'll call that the red zone of coming up to an enemy location. And this is what we'll stop and do. So right at the most intense moment, we're all stopping and doing this thing because we want to make sure the environment is what we think it is, that there isn't a booby trap that we didn't overlook, or that the enemy didn't move and they're doing something differently, that we're not so rigid and set, that we're able to, again, process this and not only process it, but be enhanced by it. And now imagine if every pack animal, every dog on that team is enhancing themselves. You see this on the animal planet. You see that constantly the predators and the prey are always doing this: stop, look, listen, smell. This is a hunting thing. In our world, your world, hunting the good stuff, control of yourselves, control of your emotions, so you can go the distance. We're training to weaponize the mindfulness. We're not training to do kumbaya. We're training to get control and then move forward. Okay. How to lead in the unknowable. How do we get ourselves to get checked into be where your feet are? Well, great. Like, people throw these words at us and say these things. That's wonderful. But how do we do it? Well, SILS is one of those pieces. So this is a video that's gonna elevate us back up the roller coaster here. Warning that there is some very strong language, but the context of where does this stuff come from? It's what you're gonna do, PL. And PL is a platoon leader or patrol leader. It's the person in charge of that group or small team. And in Ranger School, what you're going to do, PL, is usually something that the Ranger instructor is asking you after crisis has hit, or right as it's hitting, and the Ranger instructor knows it, and they see that you are probably frozen in time and don't know what to do. So it's a spot where if you've been in that, on the receiving end of that situation more than once, it's a place where you'll probably never want to be again. And so out of the birth of this mindset, the birth of this training isn't for someone to be in your face. It's to think ahead so someone doesn't have to get in your face. It's to look and learn to see the environment so you can project the problems and be forward thinking to show initiative. It's not to have the perfect right answer, but it's to have an answer and have the confidence to make a decision and execute and move forward. So we'll take a few minutes here. Alexis, did I miss anything?
No, we'll see how this plays. Just keep me in the loop if you don't hear something. I just wanted to say that it's mostly audio and then it flips through visuals, so it's not choppy. It's just like almost slideshow style. So let's see how it goes here.
What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do, PL? When Murphy shows up and shit goes to hell. What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do, PL? PL got us lost, but you be the boss. What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do?
Okay, PL, you and your team have an ambush 7 clicks from here in 2 hours. You'll have claymores out, security set in, and I don't want to see any fucking shortcuts. I want a full op order in 20 minutes, and I expect to hear a warno in 10. What are your questions, PL?
What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? 8 6 to go, rain and snow. What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? Murphy shows up and shit goes to hell. What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do?
What the fuck is going on, PL? Where's your fucking fucking security. Your 240's unmanned. The gunner's off in the bushes, dropping off a SEAL team. Your SOG gunners are asleep, and your alpha team leader's rubbing out the max magazine and white light behind that fucking tree. Are you in charge of this gaggle fuck? What the fuck are you doing, PL? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? 5 casualties and no MREs. What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, PL? When Murphy shows up, shit goes to hell. What you gonna do, PL? Wake up. Okay, stop, PL. Where the fuck do you think you are? Show me on the map. Now point to it. Not with your finger, jackass. Are you kidding? That's where you think you are? Alright, PL. You got 20 minutes till hit time and you're lost. I'm gonna help you out. You're right here. See that? Good. Set your compass at 270 degrees. Think you can cover 4 clicks in 20 minutes? Let's find out. Alright, that's it. You guys better get on the damn ground when those goes off. I'm gonna start assessing casualties. I said get on the damn ground! You're not glad when that fucker goes off. You're a gang. You hear me? Gang. Now get him out of here, PL.
What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do, PL? All night on your feet, not a wink of sleep. What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? When your team freaks out, people start to shout. What you gonna do, PL? You gonna freak out. You gonna freak out. You gotta freak the fuck out. 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 What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you don't wanna do? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, PL? When Murphy shows up, shit goes to hell. What you gonna do, PL? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? All right, all of you, wake the fuck up. What you gonna do? I marched off 4 up and down this road 4 times, right over your fucking objective, and you all slept right through it. What you gonna do? I've had it with you, PL. You're a fucking moron. You're incompetent. Time for extra training. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Where's the fucking RTO? You're the RTO. You're dead too. You even know you're not lying, PL. You better figure it out real fast. If I were you, I'd start getting your people out of here before more of them die. Maybe you want to get a medevac in route. What do you think, PL? You even know where your patrol base is? What direction are you fucking going, PL? Where's your fucking medic? You're the medic? You're fucking dead too. You're fucking dead. Keep going, PL. What the hell are you gonna do now, huh? You know what? I've had it with you, PL. You're dead. Fucking no-go. Who's next in charge?
Super intense, right? So we share that to see, like, you know, it's funny. It's got kind of joked. I know there's a lot of words and phrases that you guys might not necessarily know, but I think you get the intent that, hey, what's going on? What's happening constantly? That high state of readiness. And so when you kind of peel it back and look at it differently, look at it from an elite mindset perspective. And anyone at any point in time, when crisis or something hits, an unknown, something they can't control, you have the initial phase, reaction, shock, normal responses, perfectly okay. Then we have the ability to either stay in that reactive state and react. Think of like a toddler reacting. Toddlers and babies react to things, and they usually don't react favorably. Adults and mature people have the ability to respond, right? And as we look at the elite mindset, the true tip of the spear here, elite organizations and where a lot of intensity falls in the military and the special operations, you're able to show initiative. You're able to be at the tip of the spear, leading where you're going and cutting through the bullshit as best you can and having a plan, but also understanding that no plan survives first contact. And everyone has a plan until they're punched in the mouth, says Mike Tyson. Well, be the one punching. Be the one punching in the mouth first and demonstrate that initiative and roll forward, right? Use your initiative. In the absence of orders, move to the sounds of gunfire. Very simply said, orders given to the 82nd Airborne in World War II. In the absence of orders, move to the sound of the gunfire, right? So now it's time for more group collaboration. Here's time to mix it up and have fun, be loose and formal. And it's something called Red Hat Red Team Thinking. It's by far one of my most favorite exercises and events to do. This is the best for the digital world. And then when we get together in person at some point, we'll be able to do this in person and a lot more devious, a lot more fun. Give yourselves permission right now to unleash that inner devil, the inner deviant person that may think differently, or you look at that inner monologue is like, oh, I can't say that out loud. Well, this is that time to say it out loud. Okay, nothing illegal or immoral, but you'll get where I'm going with it. So very simply said, here's the question we're going to pose to you, and then we want you guys to go into that Menti, MENTI.com. We'll put up the code here, and you'll fill out your words. So again, what is the most destructive thing you can buy at Walmart? What is the most destructive thing you can buy at Walmart? The Menti.com code is right there. If you guys remember Menti, grab your cell phones, your computer, go to that website, plug in that code. That'll bring you right to our page, and you can fill in as many descriptors and words for what is the most destructive thing you can buy at Walmart. And we're going to stay in this space for a couple minutes here as we populate responses. And this will populate in real time. And again, it's all anonymous, so we don't know who's saying what, just in case. Machete. There we go. Hairspray and a lighter. Don't go to the light. Golf clubs. Tannerite. All right. We have an explosive expert in the group here. Liquid ass fart spray. Now we're talking. I like it. I like it. Shitty food. Right on. All right. All right, guys. I like it. Anyone want to share what they put down as it continues to populate? And don't stop, right? Keep on flowing. I think people are starting to see the groove. Shotgun shells and propane. There we go. Throw some tannerite in there, and then we got some Lion King shit going. Tiger King, excuse me. Chloride. All right. I got to ask if anyone wants to claim the liquid ass fart spray.
That was me. That was me.
All right. What are we destroying there?
Well, I mean, someone sprayed that in my car once, and I think it took like 3 weeks to get that smell out of my car. So, like, that's pretty destructive, if you ask me.
That's killing social life. That's killing your transportation. That's killing like mental wellness, right? So like kind of asymmetric destruction. I like it. And from experience, what'd you do in retaliation?
You don't want to
know. That's what I wanted to know. We're good. That's very good. All right. Okay. Anyone else want to share one of their evil creations?
Black powder and a piping cap.
Okay. And what do we want to destroy there?
You could very easily walk into Walmart and walk out with the means to Do your own little ambush, honestly.
Right on. Okay, so destruction of life. All right. Bike lock. What are we destroying there? A little kid's
Oh, that
dream
was
for
me.
Christmas. Yep.
Like the things you can do with a bike lock and imagination, like you can literally just go up to a building and just like lock the doors. Unless you have a bolt cutter, you're not getting in.
I like it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
We have high expectations for this group on this exercise.
All right. Shitty food. What are we destroying with shitty food?
I put shitty food. And that was just like destroying your health and makes you like super tired and unmotivated. But I also put tannerite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to share what tannerite is capable of doing?
It's like it's pretty much just like a legal explosive, right?
That's a very good description.
Basically.
I just like seeing videos online of people like blowing stuff up with it, like blowing up washing machines and cars and stuff.
It's a blast.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Quite
Yeah,
literally.
we shot like 20 pounds of tannerite on 4th of July this year.
God damn. 20 pounds.
Well, not at once, but like, in different.
Ah, all right. Whew, I was like,
We did a 5-pound bag though.
5 pounds. That's a lot.
Yeah, and then we wrapped it all in duct tape so it makes more compression.
Yep. Yep. All right.
That's called tamping.
I like it.
Says our explosive experts. All right,
to
guys.
go along with shitty food, I did shitty Chinese food.
Okay.
That's definitely destroyed my bowels a couple times.
Yep, roger that. I'll play. Hopefully you can one up me. I had Chinese buffet, all you could eat. I think 3 consecutive or 3 or 4. I'll go 3. I'll underestimate 3 consecutive nights in a row before physically I couldn't it just didn't work out anymore. I couldn't take it, tapped out. So I hear you loud and clear there.
Gas station sushi. That does it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No, this
Yeah,
should
you're just trying to harm yourself there. All right, guys. I like it here. Video games. Curious. What are we destroying in the video games?
I put that one. Your mind.
Destroying your mind?
Yeah, just if you play like endlessly.
Yeah, no doubt. And yeah, there's definitely some.
And that's hard not to do right now for me.
Well, at least you're aware. And give yourself those breaks, right? Laxatives. I like it. All right, guys. I like it. So you're in a good space. I like what I see a lot. So kind of what we were expecting here a little bit. Definitely creative and seeing you guys, take your passions in life and or experiences for that matter and sharing it. All right. So we have another one.
Hold on 1 second.
All right.
Let me go backwards in a way. Sorry, it has to I have to jump around a little bit on this one.
You're good. How was that? Was that hard for anyone to kind of get in that frame of mind? All right. So we stay in that creative space, stay in that that asymmetrical thought of where you want to be. And the second question, slightly framed. What is the most destructive thing you could buy at Walmart for $1 bill? $1
I need a
bill.
minute to go back into that and page up.
So Alexis is going to put it back on the right page for Menti. So you guys go back in there. You'll see the second page, which is for $1. And then you can enter in there with your deviant minds what we got for $1. Poster board. All right. Markers. Okay. All right. I'm thinking protests and such. Knife, pens. There we go. Battery with some wire. I love how casual you always say this stuff. A bad condom. Yeah, buddy.
Whoever did that probably did the dildo on the
That's
other
what
one.
I was thinking.
Yeah. Piano wire. All right. Okay. Someone's seen some Goodfellas lately. A master lock. Water. Okay. Sugar. String. Energy drinks. I like it. All right. All right. Are these populated in there? Keep on flowing, right? Like think asymmetrically, Mentos and Coke.
Razor blade. Yeah.
All right. All right. Good. A rock. Destroy a window, perhaps. All right. Let's see here. All right. Mr. Piano Wire. What are we thinking there? What are we destroying with a piano wire?
That was me, and I guess like I don't know, somebody's neck if they get you that pissed.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So we're in that state. Good to go. It is destructive, right? And make it go away
Straight
quick.
up. Yeah.
All right. Battery with some wire. What are we thinking there?
Maybe a makeshift taser.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like
I've
it.
seen kids like lick a battery before and whack themselves. So like,
So you can just help that process along.
yeah, of course, make it a little easier for them.
All right. All right. I dig it. All right. Mentos and Coke. What are we destroying with Mentos and Coke?
Pretty much anything. I mean, put the Mentos in the Coke, have it explode, and I don't think anyone wants to be covered in Coke. It's not a fun day.
No, miserable day. Energy drinks. What are we destroying with the energy drinks?
That was actually me. Oh, your body. Caffeine is bad, and I am addicted to caffeine. So
There you go. There you go. The addiction is real, and it's rebar, the works, and aluminum foil. All right, you got me intrigued. What's the works in aluminum foil?
this is also me. They're called works bombs, and they sound like a gunshot. It's like just the reaction with the toilet bowl cleaner, and you put them in like in a water bottle, and they are loud as hell. And we used to do it in like 7th and 8th grade. We'd knock on people's doors, put it outside, and scare the shit out of them, and run away. It was like ding dong ditching to another level.
Yeah, buddy. All right. That's next level.
I almost got arrested when I was 12 for that, coach.
We're probably in the same boat then.
Yeah, with the 10 balls and everything.
I like the poster board ones, like the markers, poster board. Like, I'm curious what the thoughts are behind that. Pens, any of those guys.
Yeah, that was Joe.
That was me. I was thinking like destroy kids' spirits by like walking into an elementary school with a sign that says Santa's not real.
Love it. Destroying dreams. Love it. Asymmetric destruction is by far the best.
We're adopted.
I love that. Baseball?
Yeah, we don't like baseball here.
Yeah, who does? No offense to anybody out there.
All right. Anyone else have something else they want to share? Jumping out at them. All right. All right, guys. So that's red team, red hat. Okay. Allowing yourself to get in that mindset that you're shifting perspective and you're getting outside the norms of the normal restraints that we normally could put ourselves in and getting ourselves there, right? It's not to get deviant and to go destroy something. It's just a process to get ourselves in a good frame of mind. All right, so now we're going to jump into still doing group collaboration, but now we're a little more specific to you guys. What does the Penn College legacy look like? What does Wildcat tradition look like? And we're going to step into another group, and again, this may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to roll through it. And in light of what's recently happened, who knows?
Scenario, not news. Okay, everyone.
Scenario. This is not a fact. This is not a delivery or an announcement. Okay. Scenario. vignette. We good? Thumbs up from a few folks. Know that this is not a real delivery. This is not an okay. All right. This is not meant to destroy dreams right now. But listen, we have to face it. So your 2021 season's canceled. The NCAA and the NEAC conference will not sanction games. However, other colleges want to compete and are allowed to compete. Your limitations, you cannot fly. Your campus is fully open. Money is not a concern. Money is not an issue. Your athletic director supports your team's proposal to play. Okay. Your administration supports your coach and they support your plan. But no one is coming to save you. It's on you to figure it out. So, twofold question, gentlemen. Twofold question. How do you create a lacrosse season or a tournament or a competition given this information? How do you still play? How do you figure it out? You don't need the NCAA. You don't need your conference. You need each other and another opponent. So how do you make that happen? Second question. How do you create a legacy this year with your program that cements the foundation of who you are and the team you want to be? And it serves as a lighthouse. It serves as a beacon, or in our world, it serves as a star cluster in the air, a sign during chaos that like, this is where to go. This is where you need to be. So what legacy do you want to generate that attracts new recruits? And this is a class that's talked about for years and decades to come. Hey guys, remember those guys that built this team in this pandemic? Remember those guys who weren't told no? Remember the guys who said, we don't need anything but ourselves? This is that moment. And you have the ability to construct this and on your terms, figure it out. So again, how do you have a season when you're told you can't have one, but you have resources to figure it out? And then how do you create this legacy? Alexis, did I miss anything there?
No, I'm just gonna, if anybody wants to like screenshot this page, I'm gonna try and drop a picture of it in the chat in case you need to reference back to it, because I'm probably gonna, when we're in breakouts, we lose all the stuff. So that image might be in the chat, hopefully. If not, just take a screenshot.
Yep, looks
And I
like a
think
screen.
I had a Q&A. It looked like Tom had a question, but I'm not sure if you still do.
Negative.
All
Okay.
right. Anyone have any questions or anything? All right. So we'll put you in breakouts. We're going to take about 10, 12 minutes or so on this one and discuss, right? Everything's on the table. Rock and roll. See you guys in a few.
Be more complex than needed. just a thought. But one idea that I had to kind of solidify our legacy would be I don't know if your high schools ever did the games where different sports teams play against each other, but having just an on-campus game, men's lacrosse plays men's soccer in a game of lacrosse, and then the second half of the game is they play soccer, and that kind of just gets people excited about it. It kind of introduces the game of the lacrosse to a school that not many people know about lacrosse. So that's kind of another way of looking at it. I also thought something simple would be, we already have Lycoming who wants to who's interested in playing against us. So like getting like local teams seems like an easy way of doing it. With the one thing it said that our campus is open, we'd be able to use our field and stuff like that. Any other ideas?
Nothing really off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, I think you topped it off anyways if we had an idea with that.
Yeah. I think it would also be like fun to get, teams that are like just like beyond our skill level, like Bucknell is 45 minutes away and they're obviously a much larger and they've had a longer career with lacrosse teams. So like playing against teams like that, even like Penn State, trying to get stuff with people who are like clearly on a higher level than us, but just like being able to play with them, get to learn from them, and just like having that experience would be like super cool to like, carry on, like theoretically, the first team at Penn College plays against Penn State, and just like that would just be like super cool thing and like super big for our school too, and get a lot of people intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
But John, I definitely like your idea. It was definitely outside of the box.
I'm telling you, we just say it's like a, it's a friendly rally. We're just going to be talking about our feelings.
We just happen to bring our lacrosse sticks and gear.
It just what happens, This is a
Sometimes
peaceful.
I'm just walking down the street and I just got it all.
It's peaceful. Oh God. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop in here, you guys. It sounds like a really good couple ideas you have rolling. So yeah, I mean, for real, like you did back in like the '90s, they used to have a shirt that was like showed up at a party or showed up at the beach with a couple of beers and a lacrosse game broke out. So that used to be a thing with those like vintage '90s shirts.
Okay, we bring back tradition.
Yeah.
100%.
Then there's like co-ed stuff, like they had a whole co-ed thing too, like but I just wanted to pop in just to like keep the juices flowing. So the idea around like just getting it done, like getting something done, and then just piling on top of it some of the legacy type stuff and like telling other conferences. I think Nathan, you got to a little bit with going like, hey, like let's go to Division I, let's play Penn State, we're an affiliate and all that stuff. So like that's the kind of stuff that ends up being like tell everybody who we are kind of stuff, like create some news, create some interest by guys who are like, what, they did that. So I think that is really on the same page. Is there anything else like music wise, like a festival or anything like that you feel like could attract attention to the ideas that you already have come up with, or maybe even different ones?
I don't got none.
Friday, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking of more stuff like outside of the game of lacrosse that like gets people.
It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, like, it's up to you. I'm just trying to keep the juices flowing for, even if it's lacrosse, that's fine. You want to play lacrosse, right? So that's fine. I'm just trying to keep expanding, like, you're onto something instead of shut it down. Like, keep growing, keep bringing Josh's ideas, keep bringing John's ideas, and see if we can come up. Even if you write a couple things down, because we're gonna go in and like tell the rest of the group what Room 6 came up with. What are you guys, Platoon 5? No, Platoon 6?
Or 6
okay.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so you guys will like represent yourselves. I know like you're trying to compete a little bit with the other platoons sometimes. So
yeah. So I definitely like the idea of like incorporating music, because our platoon has definitely taken advantage of the whole idea of having a platoon song.
Yeah.
Josh and I just jam out to that on the drive to practice for sure. And so yeah, like if we could incorporate that idea And like, you know, like if they hear like anybody on campus, if they hear of Kickstart My Heart by the Motley Crue, if like we could, you know, set that as that's the men's lacrosse team's song, you know, something like that. So like doing something like just like setting up like a tent or something on campus, just like having an attraction there that like get people coming. We've got music playing, everybody's having a good time. I think
Carnival?
that's like a good way. Yeah, kind of like
Yes.
carnival. I know like some teams they like have like the whole like pieing thing where like you can come up and like smack somebody in the face with a pie.
Yeah, right.
Just like, you know, it's a fun thing to like, you know, get to meet the people who's on the team and just like, you know, get your name out there.
Nice. I like it. And I like, you know, if you even think about the legacy part of this or new recruits or whatever, you can think about that stuff you put on your list, you know, like on, you know, for all the things that you stand for, like this is a time to not be like shy because everybody's supporting you. You get to do whatever the hell you want. So yeah, have at it. I was even just thinking about like Williamsport and like the little league, you know, the little league environment, like the way that they create that whole hubbub, you know, and that seems to be like almost a dome that they have that museum up top and then like the field down below. But I know we'd probably want to do something on campus too, or instead.
Yeah. Josh, you got any ideas flowing over there?
Yeah, Josh.
I have no ideas coming through my head.
I'm at that same point in the day, man. My first two classes today really just like
Yeah,
got
I had a
more and
big
more
project
stressful.
due. My brain's fried. My project was due today, and I was pushing myself to get it done, and my head ain't in it right now.
Yeah, I feel that.
That happens. All right. Well, so those of you guys that are kind of clued in, are you going to be cool with, you know, I'm going to pop out of here so you can talk amongst yourselves for a couple minutes if you're wrapped. Maybe just write down a couple bullets so that when you talk, you'll have everything kind of lined up, and then you know review it. If Nathan or Josh or John, whoever's going to write down the bullets and present it, just say them out loud to each other to make sure you didn't forget anything.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to hop out of here so you guys can talk amongst yourselves.
All right. How was that experience? Good? Uncomfortable at all? A little bit?
I see Benjamin popping in on the side there. That was really funny. Just like crept in from the side.
Love it. All right, guys. Let's take about 30, 45 seconds and hear what the sentiments are about how do we create, like, how do we not be told no and that we're gonna compete and play, and then what kind of legacy can we create given like you're a year one 0-day program, which is freaking awesome because it's
All right.
yours to own. What do you
So
think?
room one was Gobi, Charlie, Graham, and Wyatt.
Yeah, so our group pretty much said if we wanted to still have a season following like the guidelines that were here, we could do like one of two things. We could either try to start our own like new league, like separate ourselves from the NCAA, kind of do what Paul Rabel did with the PLL, or we could do like just like a small in-state type of league where we travel around and play against other D3 teams in the area and just like reach out to them, have non-sanctioned like exhibition games and like hire some like, older guys that can ref.
Nice.
All right.
I like this idea of like pulling in from like what you're seeing out there from the PLL. That's definitely inspiring, right? To know like you don't have to do things their way. That can be pretty empowering. And I like that. I like bringing in the older guys as refs. I mean, really, if you're trying to, attract the legacy part, bringing in some of your alums from, when you guys were a club and bringing them into the fold, I think that's a great idea. All right, we'll scoot down to room two. Was Eric, you were in that one, right? It was Dylan, you, and Quinn.
Obviously the best. But I'm not presenting for him though.
So we said about creating, going off again, the PLL, like sort of like a bubble atmosphere. So there's Spooky Nook. I'm not sure how many guys know about that, but they just put in like hotels there, restaurants. They have massive like turf facilities there, and inviting a couple like 4 to 6 teams there from like all over. It doesn't have to be just the PA, and playing against them, and then making it like a yearly thing over spring break. Everybody's breaks would align, and then we would go and you compete there for a week, and at the end you'd get like a trophy or like some kind of bragging rights until the next year. And then it kind of creates those rivalries and as you'd play them more.
All right, I love that idea. The Spooky Nook, is that near you guys?
Yeah, so that's
That feels
25 minutes from my house.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know it was so close. That's a great idea. Way to use your resources.
And then alumni wise, having something like building up to an alumni game eventually, but starting something right now, like getting in touch with all the alum from like club and maybe doing like a scrimmage with them, like probably in the fall, and then just kind of building that to keep the alumni base strong and in touch.
Yeah, some of you guys are going to be alums before you know it, right? So you're going to be one of those guys. So stay tied in now. Now you're in this process, and building up to it. You could even include that in your Spooky Nuke thing. That tournament. And see if somebody could come out for the spring break alumni game. All right. So next room we've got room 3 with Angelo, Danny Jackson, James, and Coach was in that one. But he's not allowed to talk.
We did for like the how do you create a season or whatever, and we kind of Angelo thought of like reaching out to the other captains on the teams that were wanting to play and kind of like getting like pickup games going, like either whether it's because since our stadium is open, like our campus is open, like play here, like play round robin games, like and like kind of like a tournament, like with brackets and everything. And then like with the money not being an option, we also thought of like renting out a big like facility, like kind of like Liberty, like that we have around here, and using that to kind of be like a neutral site for everyone to come around and play games, like pick up. And then like for the legacy, for the legacy, we did we could do fundraisers at the school where like fans, players, parents, everything, like even other teams could come and kind of like just get involved, so they know that we're like all together and we won't give up. So like the recruits know that like we're in it to win it. So
nice. That was whatever.
Nice.
Together, everyone.
We can hear you.
I'm not sure who it was, but it sounds
Feeling
like
it. Whoever it is, feeling it. Friday flow.
I like it. All right, next room, who we got? Room 4, that's Benjamin, Danny, Harkins, and Isaac.
Yeah, so what we decided was, since we have unlimited money, we would set up like a tournament and open it up for like everybody to come. So like we would rent out like Penn State, because we have unlimited money. We could like do all like cool stuff, have a bunch of people come, open it up to like any team. Like even if like you're like a adult team, anybody that wants to play lacrosse for like the day, just so we could get a couple games underneath our belt. And then we were also talking, like, even to make it better, we could make that tournament into like something to like raise money for like a good cause too, like a charity event, just so we could get like more people to come, because you know, it's like doing something good for the community.
Yeah, I like that angle, and like even like your energy when you're talking about it sounds like something I want to be a part of. And I like the idea of looking at Penn State too. Does somebody else have anything there? I feel like I don't want to have interrupted you. Anybody else? Okay, just checking. Yeah, that Penn State affiliate thing, it's big, right? Because you get that attraction of like, ooh, like this is some big deal thing. And I know you guys have that connection. All right, so we've got room 5 now with Garrett, Michael, and Steven.
Yeah, so what we said for the competition, creating that, we would go around to the neighboring schools of us, whether they're D1, D2, or D3, and just try to get a game out of anyone. So whether it's here on their turf, you know, something along those lines. And the legacy, we said that probably to start like a summer camp, like in the summer, for recruits and kids that actually want to play lacrosse. I mean, that kind of does a lot of stuff in your community too, around Williamsport, not even just Penn College, just in Williamsport. Introduce some lacrosse around here, because it's a big baseball city, so, or town, city, whatever you want to call it. But that's pretty much what we had to say.
I love that idea. Did you ever go to a camp that had that kind of impact on you?
Yeah, I actually went to Annapolis to Navy. I had a camp there. I had a couple other ones, but that one was the most, like, you could really feel the community there.
Yeah, it stays with you, right? You kind of follow the team a little bit more. And if that's in your town, like you get those families who are starting to get like, yeah, let's go to a game on the weekend.
Correct.
Yeah, don't go to the baseball game.
No.
And
yeah, go ahead.
There are charities and charity games that are out there and existing, right? Like there are playbooks that are out there, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? The PLL bubble. It's like, all right, great, let's steal that and make it ours. Charity games and events. There's Shootout for Soldiers. That's, you know, a ready-made community of lacrosse players out there. So there's extended networks available for all of you to tap into. And this is a great conversation that you guys are all bringing the important things together, right? Selfless service, community, and growing the game. Impressive again. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, great. No, it's next up is room 6 with John, Josh, and Nathan. That was the room I was in.
Hi. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I just had to unmute. So if we wanted to play, our group really came up with pretty much what everybody else was saying about wanting the scrimmage with Penn State. It's basically the same thing everybody else was saying, but our second point, which was really having kind of like somewhat of a carnival kind of setup. I'll explain it. It's just to really bring people who are interested in the sport, to show that we're kind of an approachable team, for new people that are kind of nervous about joining a college sport along those lines. And so we would have like one of the events that we came up with is pieing each other, or having people like that's what just one of the things that we came up with, just to just show that we're an approachable, fun team, just to people who are a little bit nervous when it comes to joining.
Nice.
To I don't want to cut you off, John, but another idea that I had while I took my bathroom break was to go along with the Penn State idea, to actually bring in like all other like Penn State affiliates and branch campuses, and just like playing at Penn State, and everybody gets to rep their campus. It doesn't matter, what team you're playing, whether it's D1 or a club team or a D3 team. Just, getting everybody there, bringing that whole Penn State community together, and that would, be like a really big event for us.
Yeah.
I would be more interested if you did something like that with like Thon. Like they're doing that now, and that's all to fight childhood cancer. And so I know Penn College has a Thon chapter here due to being a Penn State affiliate, but that's something I think we could definitely get in with as a team, maybe starting next year. 'Cause I didn't think about Thon this year as much, but definitely think with us being tied in as well with the cancer we did in the fall, I definitely think Thon could be something we could definitely work with in the spring as well. Just definitely another way we can give back to the community. But I know that's a big recruiting thing Penn State does, and I think that's something that we could definitely tie into as our program as well.
Great idea. That's got so much energy behind it, and so recognizable in the community that you guys are all based in everywhere around that area of Pennsylvania. I think that group, just because I know I was in it, I was gonna just bring up, Nathan, you also had an idea about like an on-campus like inter-sport competition. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so like to get us involved in like our own community here, and like, get people to like recognize, who the lacrosse team is. We were thinking of like doing like an inter sport game. So like, men's soccer plays men lacrosse, and like the first half of the game is a lacrosse game. And then the second half we take our equipment off and we play soccer, and just kind of getting both that in, just like having fun with everybody, and getting to know who we all are.
It just seemed like something I hadn't heard before, so I wanted to highlight that. I thought it was pretty creative. All right, so we'll shift over to room 7. I think we're at now with Dylan, Giovanni, and Tom, and you guys are welcome with Chris in that room too.
Yeah, so like everybody else, we were kind of just saying like reaching out on social media and having like a round robin tournament, whether that be at our campus or their campus, kind of over the course of several weeks. And then at the end, like a trophy or whatever. And then something that I think nobody else really touched on was kind of having like a showcase event where we kind of reach out to recruits that are interested in our school, and then bringing them in for like a weekend or a couple weekends, where they can, bond with our team, kind of experience our culture. And then at the end, run through practice, and then at the end have like a little tournament where guys on the current team are kind of paired with guys that are like incoming recruits, and then kind of have like a tournament that way where we're all really connecting with one another.
It's super interesting. I like that idea that it is a showcase. It feels like the time you guys can really stand in that legacy and in the culture that you're creating, and like be able to introduce other people into it. And that I think adds up so much to your like your pride. It's a really proud moment. Anybody else? Anything else?
Impressive. Very impressive. Creative ideas, not being told no, leveraging all of your resources, doing more with less, tying in, to like future generations and older generations. I think you guys are a special bunch. And you have the bones to create something and to take this action. And I'll ask this, and it's semi-rhetorical. Is there anything or anyone preventing any of you from doing this stuff? And just that's something to consider. Is anyone getting in the way? Is anyone telling you no? I know in this scenario, we had to put a construct on it. But when you're thinking about ownership of your program and ownership of your team, this is not Coach Williams. This is not Penn College. This is you guys. 110% you guys. You guys have the complete ownership of this thing. And it's your chart, it's your ship to navigate where you want to be. And that's a special thing. And you all acknowledge that it's not going to be an explosive thing right now today. And that's fine, because you all know how to show up. One of your teammates is at peak COVID right now. She's showing up, right? So you guys show up, and you're going to continue to show up for each other, because again, you look at, let's look at the next slide, where you all come from and came from and where we're going and where you are. And we kind of, I don't like spending a lot of time in the past, but sometimes it's important to reflect where you all came from and where we got started and where we're going. You look at this past year plus, I know we haven't been involved with each other the last year, but what you all have been through and are going through was the COVID beginning, and then lockdowns, the isolation, right? The holiday stress. Now we're over the holiday stress. And now we're at this point where you've met us and we've done some training. We've introduced some stress tools, new mental models, and we've taken what would have been a high agitated state and reduced it to a calm, cool, collected new baseline, right? We've been exposed to how to perform under stress. Now it's on you guys to take these tools and skills and put them into your daily use, into your daily routines. And most importantly, now you have to look forward, right? Because resting on your laurels and all right, I'm good right now, we know that's a fleeting moment. And so looking towards the future, what do you all want to accomplish as a program, as a team, as a legacy, right? Marching towards conference championships, to NCAA championships. And if those things are removed because it's no one's fault and COVID does what it does, how do you still create the energy in the future that you want? Not being told no, not lying down, stepping up and getting back up. How do you create the positive press? How do you retain the recruits who want to go there? How do you create new partnerships, right? Someone said, we'll create a new league. Screw the NCAA, we'll create our new league, right? So again, the spirit of what you guys want to create, and it's the sanctity of your brotherhood, the ability to play together. If that's your ultimate goal, which it sounds like it is, it feels like it is, to play together and to create this bond together, you'll find a way to make that happen, no matter what. And by nature of doing that in the time of crisis, in the time of being told no, in the time of having no resources and being a brand new program, and you stamp that into your legacy, your history, you guys are winners already. And it's now what you want to do with it, because you've showed up, you've committed yourself to this, and it's on you to figure out what does the future look like. And all these ideas and all these things that we've created are not just good ideas to, throw at a dartboard and say, all right, that could be good. Now it's the discussion, what's the art of possible? What could we do together? What could we achieve together? And it's not to be distracted from the goal of playing together. It complements that. So
wrapping up with some key takeaways as we finish our time with you guys over all 4 weeks. We know now with this first platoon mindset, and clearly this group understands what that is. So just making sure that those things on the chart that you have are showing up, not just on the field and not just at practice, but all the time in your energy and what you give to your teammate. And if you have no energy, you're just telling them where you're at. Vulnerability is invincibility. We've gone over that. This team absolutely is feeling that, having gone through some COVID scares twice now. The 5 rules and the principles about leading in chaos, bodies under stress and regaining control, and that elite mindset and being able to be creative. So all of these parts here just taking us from that reactionary mode and being able to take care of ourselves and protect one another into that response mode, and really ultimately, like we're talking tonight about what you can do with your time together and cementing this legacy of this year one, getting into that initiative, mastering skills and becoming a protector, not only for yourselves, but your teammates. So you're really being able to, have all the skills around developing your culture, but physical skills and things like skills so that you can, like we said, protect one another, but also perform as a team. Culture is a team fight. That's a big part of this. And you've showed up, like Erik said, we have COVID on screen tonight, and you show up despite all of that, Ben, and you show up for each other, and that's already happening and it's already taking hold. So I think just continue to do those things, build on them, that momentum will continue. Erik, did you have anything here?
It's a practice, and it's one of those things you have to practice and do. So you get in the guidebook, look at those takeaways. We've covered a lot of ground, and we've exposed you to them. All right, and we, by no means are you masters of these things. It takes a little bit, but again, that's a big roll up of everything that we've covered, which is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So want to hear more from you guys, from the leadership and from the coach, that you guys are putting these things into action. And not everything, we get that, but this, take things that make sense, make them yours. Okay, it doesn't need to stay here. Make them yours and roll forward. It's your team fight, man. It's your pack animals.
Yeah, and you're not alone with that. We're always with you. We are behind you, our full team. This is everybody. I just wanted to remind that we have a whole bunch of guys back in this group. Keith has been on, Chris has been on, Cece, Garrett. You guys have heard from a bunch of us, and we're here. So continue to, reach out to us on DMs. We're going to keep following you for sure and keeping in touch with Coach. And just don't be a stranger, especially if you need something. Culture is a team fight. Just a reminder, it should, get that fight up within you. And wanted to give some time for Q&A, and I know Chris is on here available to kind of chat. So if you guys have any questions about SILs or about any of the work that we did tonight, we're here for a chat, and we'll also be afterward too. Thank you guys for your time too.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Open mic for anyone or anything.
Will you guys be coming here by any chance by the either by the season starts or finishes?
We'd like to, our in person is our thing. So depending on what the COVID restrictions are and what's responsible and prudent, we want to show up for you guys, right? It would absolutely fire us up to be, on your sidelines and in your corner, right? So if we could find an opportunity to do that, that's what we want to do. That's the first and foremost intention. And frankly, we tried to figure out how to make this thing happen in person as best we possibly could. And so, we want to show up for you. Just let us know when and where, and we'll see what we can make happen.
Awesome.
April 3rd, our field.
April 3rd. Write that down. Does your field have a name?
I think it's UPMC Field.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it's UPMC Field.
Okay.
And the first game is against the reigning NEAC champions, correct, Coach? Morrisville?
Yeah, as of now, Morrisville.
So it's going to be a shame when they lose, but.
I know, right? That'll be embarrassing.
That's right.
Great.
All right. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate it. Accountability for us.
That's right. That's right. And April 4th, 5th. That was the date of the Sangan firefight I told you guys about. Well, yes, you saw. That was April 4th, 5th, 2007. So we do a 14-year reunion.
Better see first platoon type mentality out there that day for sure then.
I'll be on my own warpath.
Yeah, you bet.
All right. What else, guys? All right. Well, we're not going anywhere.
So,
right? Yeah, please.
Actually, I have a question. So, normally when you guys would actually be here, would we be doing a lot of what would it actually look like if you were to be here and we would actually be working and stuff? Would it be a lot of running / all that stuff, or what would it be like?
Yeah, good
just so we
question.
can kind of like, just so like we can kind of like take in the aspect of what it would be, and like we can do it on our own time now that like what you guys would do, we could do ourselves.
Really good question. I'm gonna prep my colleague Chris to get his brain warmed up to give you this answer with kind of sharing what we do. I'll say this: what you asked for is like, what's the identifiable stressors and things that we would use and implement to help you to train and do that. I'll say this: the physical stress, because there's a whole bunch of different stressors that we construct in our environments. So I'll say broadly, we would do some classroom discussions and just some conversations and small group conversations. And then we'd also do some hands-on stuff. And that's all, just I'll leave it to as hands-on stuff. And I will also say this, that the physical aspect of running you around or running you ragged, that's probably the last resort of stressors that we would use, because we have an arsenal of other things that we can inflict on you, introduce to you. So I kind of say that vaguely by nature and by design, because of what we do and how we do it is we want to expose it to you and see how you work through it and sort through it. If there's any indication of how we present and what we do, hopefully we've left some breadcrumbs that our approach is asymmetrical and it's not what you think, right? It's not the obvious choice. And so the things that we do in the scenarios and the decisions that we have you make aren't necessarily the first and obvious choice. It's on you to make that decision, and it's on us to facilitate that training event for you. Meaning there could be 25 approved solutions, and who are we to tell you to only take this route or that route? Because you may have an approach in your experience to solve the problem and solve it in a way, an approach that we may have not seen before. And us as trainers and facilitators, we leave space to be surprised by you guys. That answers your question a little bit, not wholly, I'm sure, but Chris, is there, and I know Chris has a saying, I don't want to have him pull it up, but it's something like, are you training for a fight, or are you training to fight? And it's like, are you training to just fight just this one way and this one specific thing? Or are you training to show up for a fight? And how do you train, and how do you show up, and how do you prepare yourself? And if said another way, you get the answers to your final exam and you study those answers. It's A, C, D, E, A, B. And if it's anything that's changed outside of those answers, you're screwed. You don't have anything. But if you know the concepts that are asked in the question, the concepts that are asked in the test, then you can prepare yourself for that fight. And you can be adaptable and you have flexibility. Chris, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, you break down, there's some physical means to force you to pull up leadership that you never thought was there, especially the quiet kid in the corner, based on repetitions and doing exercises correctly. Because yes, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But if you're cheating yourself, you got a long way to go, brother. So put you in small teams, force you to be accountable for each other's actions to accomplish a physical task. And as you become more physically worn, the sidebar conversations show up amongst teammates that usually don't happen. So you find out who your leaders really are and who are not. And I enjoy the hell out of it. So it's all cool.
Said very, very well. Very, very well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? That's a good question, Danny. Actually, one of our old teammates was Danny Jackson. Called him Hot Dog. Hell of a trainer. Hot Dog. It's a good guy. So whenever I see your name pop up, I like that. It's good.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Danny Jackson. All right. What else we have, gentlemen? I know it's Friday night. So I appreciate your time. Appreciate y'all showing up. Ben, even on your COVID bed, it's not a deathbed, obviously, but on your COVID bed, man, you showed up. Quite frankly, like, the past 4 weeks aside, the fact that you guys faced that situation, the COVID situation during a pandemic, and grabbed a hold of it the way that you did. I mean, that there alone is that means the world as an outsider to see you guys do that. And I know that that's the team, that's what you're all building, that's what you all want to be, but to see that, right? And that's not, and we're not taking ownership of that. That's you guys. You guys did that. Okay. So for us to see you guys take that and put that in action, and take your words, service, gratitude, grit, and to embody them is, I mean, I'll speak for the team and let them say their own things, but it's brilliant, and it's a wonderful thing to see and experience. So we appreciate those who've connected on social media. You know, there's our personal and our professional stuff, Alpha Echo. Snap into us and we'll snap into you. And, you know, the DMs are always open. And as you guys see things, you know, as you're canvassing your worlds and you see an interesting team dynamic or you see an interesting thing, DM it to us, you know, have us check it out and have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are our eyes and ears, and we're your eyes and ears. And this is the extended network, and the door is always open. I know we're just completing this 4-part series, but the door is open. And I know it'll take time and action to prove that, but, you know, we'll show up if you show up. And again, it's been a privilege. I mean that it's been a privilege to be a part of this thing and to grow this thing with you guys, because there's only one chance to do it for the first time, and you guys are doing it, and we're here with you. And again, that's just a privilege and an honor to play a small part in this, to be a part of this and to show it for you. So we wish you all the best, and we'll be here tomorrow for you, and the next day. Alexis, Chris.
Thank you guys. Have a great weekend, a great night. We'll be on here after if anybody has any, offline questions. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for
Thank
everything.
you guys. Have a great night.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Got it, man. Have a good one.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
I'm
Thank
excited
you.
to see you guys in person.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Peace out.
that'll be awesome.
Have a good one, or peace out, as you say.
Hey.
Hey
Coach.
guys, that was awesome. I love that. That was probably my favorite one.